Good morning, guys. Math lesson today. Ratio problems involving totals. So we've been doing ratio problems already. So this is lesson 101. You're just adding in another column in your ratio boxes, okay? So it says some ratio problems, a total is used as part of the calculation. Here's the problem, and I'll help you set it up. It says the ratio of boys to girls in class was 5 to 4. If there were 27 students in the class, how many girls were there? Okay, so this is when you have your ratio box on your paper, and we've usually only had two levels of this, but you're going to add one more in, and it's pretty easy. Okay, so this is your ratio box. Remember, ratio, actual count. So when I'm reading, and it says ratio of boys to girls, so I want this one to be boys, this one to be girls, and my bottom one is going to be the total now, okay? Has to go in order, boys to girls, okay? So boys to girls was 5 to 4, so I add these up, that means my total is 9, okay? And then it says if there were 27 students in class, so that's the total and that's the actual count. So 27 students. It says how many girls were there. So we're going to put a G here and a B here. Okay. Now, I find this out using equal my ratios. And so they want to know girls. I can find boys too, but in this instance, they want to know girls. Okay. So I'll try to do this because I wrote it too big, but you have to keep your ratio. So if they want girls, we're going to go 4 to 9. Oops. 4 to 9 is the same thing. Now that has to go even. So 4 and G have to go across from each other. G and 9 and 27 have to go across. And then you know how to do this. You multiply, or we can see what we multiplied 9 by to get 27, which is 3. So we multiply 4 by 3, and there are 12 girls. Okay? We could find boys the same way. You could go 5 is to 9, as B is to 27, and then you would multiply 5 times 3, and you'd get 15. And we know that 15 plus 12 is 27. Okay? So you can find a lot of answers to a question if we set it up right, okay? The trick here is keeping everything organized, so making sure that your proportions are equal and that you don't flip any of those around, okay? So let's look at the example. It says the ratio of football players to band members on the football field was 2 to 5. Altogether, there are 175 football players and band members on the football field. How many football players were on the field? So I'm going to make a much smaller ratio box, and I'm going to have 3 spots, and this is my ratio, and this is my actual count, okay? So I'm going to read it over. It says the ratio of football players to band members. So football to band total, okay? And it says was 2 to 5. So 2 to 5, I add those up and I get 7, okay? And then it says there were 175 football players and band members on the football field. So that's my total, 175, okay? And then it says how many football players were on the field. So we want to know this one, okay? So here's our ratio. We have to have, this is one ratio, this is another ratio, okay? So we have, if we want to know football players, we have 2, and we have to use the one that we know, so that's the total, 2 to 7, and then we have to keep the 2 and the football players across from each other, and the 7 and the total number across from each other, okay? Now, do I know what 7 times 175 is? No, I don't. Or what I multiplied 7 by to get to 175, I don't know that either, okay? So this is the same thing that we've been doing, where you cross multiply, okay? So you go 2 times 175 equals 7 times F, right? Now we know how to figure this out. The first thing we do is multiply. So 2 times 175. I don't know what that is. So I'm going to use my, because I don't have much room on my board. 175 and 175 would be, is it 350? 350, okay? So 350 equals 7 times f. Now that's a division problem, right? So we go 350 divided by 7, okay? 7 goes into 35 5 times, and 7 goes into 0 no times. So there are 50 football players on the field. So I can write my 50 in here. Now, if they asked me about band members, I could go 175 minus 50, and I know there's 125 band members. Okay, I can find all that information out from just the little that they gave me at the beginning. Okay. Let's see what our next thing is here. Okay, so that's kind of the lesson. I think that we got it. You've been doing this for a while. We just never added the totals in. Okay, so make sure when you're finding the totals that that you keep things organized and you keep whatever you have across from each other, okay? And you have to have at least one that has both answers. So in this case, it was our totals, right? Like 7 and 175. And what was the first one? 9 and 27. So that you have to have one part of that has the complete answer to find a missing answer. If you have any questions, always give me a call or text me or ask me on the stream, and I can help you. Have a great day.